Hello there, my name is Susan McCreevy and I'm a mixed media artist based in Inverness, and that's in the north of Scotland. In 1998 I graduated from art college in Dundee and Duncan of Jordanstone. I studied textile design and printmaking as a support study. When I got back up to Inverness I had my family, and after that I decided to go back to printmaking, and I had one day a week in the print studio in Inverness. It's called the Highland Print Studio. And I'm just looking at some older prints that I had, and when I was thinking about elements that inspire me. So you can see things that I did in 2013 that are now evident in my work today. So things like the botanical element, the pattern, organic shapes, these are all things that have moved forward in my work. In 2016 I discovered mixed media art, and the artist that I followed was called Ivy Newport. I found her on YouTube and I started watching her free videos and trying things out on my kitchen table. I soon discovered that I was going to need a bigger space, and luckily my partner and my family all helped me to build this studio in my garden so that I was able to work from home and still be with my children. So since then I took every class that I could with Ivy Newport and learnt lots of different techniques. But then I decided I wanted to try printmaking again at home. So one of the things I discovered was this thing here, and it's called a jelly plate. And last year on Instagram I did a 100-day project, learning lots of different ways to use this plate. So I did lots of different prints, and here's an example of a print I've done with the gel plate. And from this print I like to do different designs with it, use it in sketchbooks like this one here. So this is quite a mixed media page. You can see there's lots of different elements, drawing skills and gluing. So that's what I quite like about the mixed media. You can try lots of different things. You can take the prints and put them onto canvases and work on top of them with pen details. So I had a lot of people asking me about the techniques that I use, so I started to think about teaching. So I now do a one in-person workshop teaching these methods. So I take people to a workshop and provide them with a jelly plate each. They can then produce a series of prints themselves, with me showing different techniques that they can use using stencils and mark making tools. And at the end of the day they can then produce a bookmark to take home, a series of little bookmarks. So it's quite interesting to see how everybody with the same supplies and the same stencils comes up with completely different designs. So I really enjoy the in-person classes. Then more recently Ivy Newport asked me to come along to her platform and teach an online lesson showing some of the techniques that I've learnt along the way. So I decided to show how to make a little brooch using some of the techniques I've used for the jelly plate, but also combining the encaustic techniques that I've learnt. So I just wanted to show you this book which has some of my inspiration for my paintings. So if you can see this one here, this has lots of elements of things that I'm interested in. For instance, the botanical shapes, the seed heads, the texture. I love text behind some of my images, pattern, and people, and especially tree silhouettes. So the next image that I'm going to show you shows some of these elements here. So from the tree silhouettes I learned how to print with botanical plants. So this particular part here with the moon shows the silhouette of the plant. So to develop this one further, I thought I could use some of my encaustic techniques. So this is an encaustic painting. So I've used the fabric that I've hand printed and then developed it by adding a layer of encaustic wax, and also using the plants that I've printed with and embedded them into the wax. You can see the gold here, and this is also another thing that's been brought forward from my printmaking days in 2013. You can see in this one here there's silver embedded into this print. So these things are always moving forward, and you get ideas along the way and then things keep moving along. This class here will be is available on the website if you'd like to learn how to make these little pieces of jewellery using some of the encaustic techniques that I've learnt, and also the printmaking techniques. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at some of my art processes. If you'd like to learn more about my processes, maybe come along to one of my in-person workshops or take an online class if you're not in Inverness. I do have a newsletter I send out every month, and I usually update and tell people when there's new classes coming on or if I've got new paintings available. So I'd love for you to join my newsletter and keep up to date with everything that's going on. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.